Inside Stories is an interesting initiative brought by Brand Oman Management Unit. The whole purpose of it is bringing together personnel from private sector, from the business community, from the government and the academia. People who will actually sit together and debate and discuss in a very informal and casual environment issues that are basically need to be addressed, that are challenging, whether it's today or for the future generations of our nation.
Tonight, Brand Oman is here for the second of the Inside Stories. So in May, we had the first installment where we looked at competitiveness, we were looking at perception, we looked at also the business effectiveness of Oman. So we had quite a good session. Some of the things that came out, the comments were we want more audience participation. So tonight, we're going to try and get more of the audience involved, even more than before, and get some feedback. And the other thing was around networking. So we found that there are people working on ideas. They suddenly say, I'm trying to do this, but I don't know how to. If they can just sit with somebody over dinner that they don't know, they can make a connection. They can find something. And half of what we're talking about with entrepreneurship is really the innovation, people, how do you meet, how do you make things happen?
Entrepreneurship is a very interesting terminology, and I will be honest, I think I still fail to define it clearly. But to me, entrepreneurship might be divided into two categories: people who strive to start their own business, or are we talking about innovation? Teaching people to be innovative, be it running your own business or basically working for an employer.
There is no actually a single definition or unique definition for entrepreneurship, but to me it's deployment of ideas in a beneficial context to benefit a large number of people using multiple skills.
People who are willing to take risks, calculated risks, people who are willing to be accountable, dependable, and these are qualities that are very important. You need to have people who will stand up and try to move things forward rather than just move along with the system.
Well, an entrepreneur is someone who takes risks. By definition, they don't know what they're doing. If they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't be an entrepreneur, they'd be a businessman. So an entrepreneur assumes risk for projects. He starts projects where he doesn't necessarily know how they're going to end. And where there's risk, there's reward.
Introducing a culture of entrepreneurship, it's part of the change that we require to do. And I'm a strong believer that we need to go back to the education system. It might take much longer after you graduate from university to basically introduce a change in your lifestyle. But if you plant and carefully plant such values from at an early stage in schools, entrepreneurship, self-dependency, etc., you would obviously see the results as you go on.
One would have to go to them into their environment, the schools. And one has to make it to them approachable, understandable, and see the significance of it. So you need to engage the youth in real activities to make them see the benefits, because in the end, you can only drive entrepreneurship if the people can assess the risks correctly and see the rewards.
The conventional student, whether school or academic student, they graduate with the mindset of seeking jobs, while entrepreneurial students, they graduate with the mindset of providing jobs for others. But to encourage that direction, you have to look at it from two angles. There is an angle that we do it sometime that is not sustainable, which is just looking at the education and awareness side. But if it is to be sustainable, what you need to do is actually to look at beyond that, which is the incentives required for people to take that on board, as well as the markets and the law reinforcement.
There's a whole series of things you can do. There's a long answer and a short answer. The short answer is show it's possible. And that's by, for example, having people who've done it stand up and talk and make heroes of them. People I know in Oman are very shy, but you have to persuade some people that they can actually tell others what they've done, how they've done, and make themselves available as mentors. But then also, you have to remove the barriers. For example, so that you don't have to go through impossible regulations to start things.
A society that has the culture of entrepreneurship in it is one that typically is more malleable. They can weather economic crisis more effectively. They know how to have a supportive net. Usually they're also more ethical, so they're more environmentally conscious. They're more selective about the products. It's not just about the lowest price. So all of these aspects, one, it means having a society in general that that is aware, that is competent, and that is capable of taking the right decisions, and then having a class of leaders who could propel it forward as well.
Omanis are not peculiar to innovation and creativity. They need to be reminded again that it's in your DNA, you can do it, and they need to be shown the way.
I believe the best and the most protective person is the one who enjoys what they do, and they are competent and innovative in what they do. So we need to be able to find ways where they can find self-satisfaction out of this innovation.